ventricular groove right here, right? So that makes, what chamber is this?
Right
ventricle. Right ventricle, and this one is
left ventricle.
Left ventricle. So what comes off directly off the right ventricle is, what is this?
Pulmonary trunk.
Right. So this should be pulmonary trunk, but how are you going to verify that? So we're going to open this heart. So by opening, meaning I'm going to just cut the heart like this. So I'm going to just slice.
All right.
It's like cutting steak.
I'm going to make sure I slice evenly.
So
you want to just slice in the middle like this?
Just one cut.
Huh? Oh yeah, pretty. I just had a nice heavy lunch. I'm down for
So I'm going to
seconds.
have open heart.
That's gross.
It doesn't matter if it's not completely symmetrical. And you need a little bit more cutting in the middle because the left ventricle wall is very, very thick.
All right.
Now you open up a little bit like that and you can see the wall and you can cut through like this.
How do you know which is the front and which is the back?
Well, we'll see. Well, after we cut it open, we'll see. How would you know? Exactly.
Take off the layer off my glove. She was like tilling my hand.
So cool.
It looks like a Venus flytrap.
Really cool.
Look at this. What I do is probably what I do. What I would do is put
I can't even see the heart.
Get out of my way.
Well, zoom it out. Get your own camera.
up like this.
I see 4 cameras in front of
So I
myself.
actually, I'm kind of like prop it open like this. Now when you open like this, then you see, how could you tell atria from ventricle, right? So what do you think this chamber is? Let's not talk about, is it atria or ventricle? That's
Ventricle.
Why? Because it's muscles, right? Now let's say, it doesn't really matter I put this way or this way. Let's look at this way.
The size of the
Which
ventricle?
side is, this right side or this right side?
The right side,
right
the big
side
one.
is the right.
Left. Right.
This is
Left is left.
This is left,
Yeah.
this is right.
Right.
Why is that?
Sorry, because it's
More
thicker.
muscle.
It's much thicker.
Do you want to show here?
So you know that this has to be right ventricle, this has the left ventricle. And above the left ventricle is actually we didn't cut through this yet. Is right here. You can cut through the vessels right here, a little bit over here, and that will be the left atrium, right? And another way to tell is, you see the valves right here? This is the valve. What is this again?
Chordae tendineae.
It's a chordae tendineae. So that makes this huge. You see the papillary muscle?
No.
Damn.
Yes.
Right? And going down the base of papillary muscle, you can see these pattern and these right here. You see that? These are trabeculae carinae. See that? These?
Are they in both ventricles?
Yeah.
Because in the notes it says only the right ventricle.
Really?
The notes
Maybe I
wrong.
was they're both ventricles. They're in both ventricles right here. I could make a mistake. Right. It's right here. These are all trabeculae carinae. Okay. Now you're gonna if you don't know what valve it is, if you see a tendinous cord attached to it, it has to be what valve?
Atrioventricular.
Has to be AV valve, right? Does aortic and pulmonary valve have cords attached to it? No. So if you see a valve that doesn't have anything attached to it, it's got to be either aortic or pulmonary trunk. So now let's cut a little deeper. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these vessels here.
Can we do that during an exam? Can we just like poke it?
And that's what we do.
Look at this one. This one, we said it could be what? This one directly.
The pulmonary
looks like
trunk?
Pulmonary trunk. So how am I going to see that? I'm just going to stick my probe in there and see where it goes.
Will you have the probe in it on the exam?
Maybe. It depends on what it looks like. We're going to travel. That's why today I want to travel from station to station. Look at each pig's heart to make sure that we know all the stations. So this is really a pulmonary trunk because it goes through, what ventricle is this?
Right.
Right ventricle, it's a thinner wall, it's a muscular wall. So this is the passage, this is how you tell. So if I go like this, and if I pin it, and you know there has to be I'm named the vessel, then what is this? It has to be part of my chart, right? On the other hand, the aorta, see?
Will you show us
So
that it's coming through
this
though?
is
Wait,
big
through that again?
aorta,
Show that again.
and it comes off from here, go through the left ventricle, right here. And if you dissect
Further.
the atrium, you know what, let's just, you can cut open anything this way, just have a look. This is the pectoral muscle right there. See that inside? This is the pectoral muscle, and this is the right atrium. And basically, this is really extension of inferior superior vena cava, and this probably is where it cut. See this hole right here? This vessel is part of the vena cava. It just sort of, when they slice it, they slice the whole, like a, sort of like superior inferior goes like this, and they cut off like that, so all you see 2 holes. One hole here and the other hole here. So this is superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and they dump the blood into the right atrium right here. So why don't just open up the heart, and at the end of the outline, I listed a bunch of structures